Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
It just reminds me, like yesterday we did a whole segment on university football, and I'm not going to out the viewer, but the viewer from Ontario wrote in and said, why are you talking about this? I don't care about this. If you're not going to talk with me as a viewer, then I'm not going to be coming back to your show because I don't care about university football. And then you got somebody over here. So why don't you talk about local sports? Why don't you talk about grassroots sports? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If that guy pipes up again, I will reach through the camera and choke his wind off. Shut the hell up and watch what we're talking about.
How about that?
Because I watch Get Up every single day. Do you think I care about the NBA? I don't. But they're so entertaining, I don't change the channel, and I damn sure don't pick up the phone and start tweeting at them and bitching that they're not talking about what I'd like to talk about. Like I might murder the guy virtually.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I don't know what to do with that. No, I get it.
By the way,
understand.
Rod's Rant brought to you by Bronco Plumbing and Heating and Cooling. Call us today and book your duct cleaning. The balls on the guy to write in and say, why are you talking about university football? I'm not interested in that. Then change the station. Shangay La Canal.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
Absolutely awesome to see you down in Florida, Roddy. Unfortunately, you are at the grind, working. LOL. Enjoy it, man. You deserve it.
How about that?
Listen, please don't feel sorry for me. Darren, do you feel sorry for me that I got to work?
I feel sorry for me.
Exactly. Kind of a life that I could settle into.
Oh, yeah.
Fun, sun, and surf. It's the Rod Pedersen Show.
It absolutely is. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy hump day. Welcome to the RP Show. Coming to you from Dodge City in beautiful South Florida. It's another hot day. And we're ready to talk sports. The fastest 2 hours in sports talk coming your way here right now. Episode number 581 of Canada's daytime sports talk show. I'm here, and the Moose is in the bunker in South Florida. And, hey, Moose, if we can get him on the screen, notice anything different around here? What do you notice, man? Can you pick it out?
What's going on? Did you get a haircut?
No. It's funny you say that, though, because as God is my witness, I did not plan on staying this long in South Florida, and I'm going to have to find a place to get a haircut. I'm going to have to find a place to do a lot of things. But, no. I've moved the camera up a couple of more feet just to give us a little sort of like a feel like you have where you are at.
All right.
I don't know if anybody noticed or not. Yeah.
No, I like it. It's good.
It's another. Okay, good. You tell me and I'll move it back if you want later on in the show.
All right. No, I think it looks
you're
good.
more the visual guy.
It's good for today.
Okay. I'll take that as a move it back for tomorrow. Gotcha. By the way, it is our last day for this week, I think, here in Dodge City. Tomorrow we are going to Bow Campers in Fort Lauderdale, and maybe Friday at Bow Campers as well in Fort Lauderdale. And then next week, we've got a plethora of locations lined up here in South Florida. As I said, everybody jumping all over themselves, trying to host the Rod Pedersen Show. It's a thing. And things are rolling. I'll tell some stories as we go. But on the program today, I wrote this down, and then somebody had to bail. Alan May is going to join us, the longtime NHLer, the Washington Capitals color guy and analyst. Alan May will be joining us. And Clark, did we line somebody up an hour two, or no? Okay, cool. Mike Hogan was going to be our guy, the longtime host of the Bullpen on Fan 590 Toronto. Mike Hogan, the voice of the Argos, but then he had to bail. So Clark said he threw some lines in the water for hour two, and I said, listen, it's okay if you don't get anybody. Moose and I can carry it just fine, along with the viewers. So that's kind of the roadmap of the show today. And without further ado, can we please hit the quick six show topic one, please, Director Jordan? Thank you. So here's what's going on. And for those new viewers, of which we have many here in America, these are of importance to me. So maybe they're not in the world overall, but they're of importance to me. Number one, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, and Gio Urshela homered to power the New York Yankees to a 7-2 victory over the Toronto Blue Jays on Tuesday night in the opener of a critical 3-game set. The Yankees moved 3 games up on Toronto now and extended their winning streak to 7 games. And despite the loss, the Jays remain one behind the Boston Red Sox. They are clinging to the second wild card spot. The Red Sox dropped a 4-2 decision to the Orioles, but now the Mariners are in there, muddling things up. They were tied with Toronto entering their game against the visiting Oakland A's, and they won. And by the way, we were talking about the capacity yesterday. A recent loosening of venue capacity restrictions in Ontario allowed for attendance at Rogers Centre. So, Moose, 28,769 turned out to Rogers Centre, which essentially doubled the stadium's previous limit. So, if you saw, did you see the social media reaction from Canadians? They're like, Jays are done. Jays are done. And they probably are. But like I said, it's gut-wrenching for me, and I'm not even a Jays diehard. Did you watch much of the game?
No, I watched the first little bit. I was actually at a movie last night. It was movie night at the Landmark Cinemas. But, you know, they played well early. I saw when the Jays were up 2-1, and then literally, as you know, you've been to movies with me, plenty of them. I couldn't help it. I'm score watching during the movie, right? I had to. And
how'd that go over?
You know what? Actually, pretty well. It was not bad because now they got those separators, right? So I wasn't worried about distracting anybody else. It's perfect. They should. I
meant with your date, not the other. I meant with your date, not the other person beside you.
No problem. No. So it was fine, and you know, we knew that the attendance would be high, but yeah, people are saying the Jays are done. Look they win the next 2, no big deal, right? But you can't lose these games this late in the year.
No, well, listen, it doesn't look good. Let's put it that way. Moving on to point 2, which will lead into our poll question today. It's NHL preseason results from Tuesday night. Artemi Panarin had a goal and 2 assists, leading the New York Rangers to a 3-2 victory over the Boston Bruins. Hang on, guys. We will get to the question in a moment. Don't throw up the results just yet. So it's Rangers 3, Bruins 2. In Philly, Anthony Beauvillier's unassisted goal, 22 seconds into overtime, gave New York a 3-2 win over the Flyers. That's a split squad thing they had going on there. In Raleigh, North Carolina, how about this? Newly acquired Jesperi Kotkaniemi had a goal and an assist in the first period to lead Carolina over the Tampa Bay Lightning 3-1. Old licorice legs. Last night, a goal and an apple in the opening period, helping Carolina to the win. In Columbus, Jack Quinn scored the deciding goal in the shootout, helping Buffalo complete a come-from-behind 5-4 victory over Columbus. In Edmonton, Alberta, Brendan Perlini scored twice, and Connor McJesus had a goal and 2 assists in Edmonton's 6-0 win over the Seattle Kraken. Darnell Nurse, Jesse Puljujarvi, and Zach Hyman also scored for the Oilers. Mike Smith stopped all 18 shots he faced before making way for Mikko Koskinen, who stopped 16. For Seattle, goalie Chris Dreger stopped 18 of 23 shots before giving way to Joey Decord. He made 9 saves. The Kraken now 1-1 in the preseason. In Las Vegas, Jonathan Marchessault's goal with 4:10 left in the third was the winner for the Golden Knights, Canada's team, against Colorado. And a 4-3 outcome for Vegas. And lastly, in San Jose, Jonathan Quick made stopped 22 of 23 shots in just over 31 minutes, leading the LA Kings over San Jose 4-3. So the poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. Now we can go, guys. Now we roll. Do you care about the NHL preseason? And I tweeted this about 40 minutes ago, Moose. Look at the results. Again, it's bright down here in South Florida. Like 53% of people saying no, which, by the way, is their right. That's fine. It's just highly shocking to me. And on Twitter, 68% of respondents saying no for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. No, they're not interested in the NHL preseason. So why the hell am I reading these scores and updates? Well, because it's Canada's daytime sports talk show, and we care. And furthermore, I've been waiting all morning, Moose, for the email to come from the Florida Panthers, my new besties, for the lineups tonight at the Dallas Stars. And I got it about an hour ago, and Jumbo Joe Thornton not playing tonight for the Cats at Dallas. Not happening. So Friday night, when the Dallas Stars are here at Florida Live Arena, and I'll be in attendance, maybe I will get to see Joe Thornton's debut for the Florida Panthers. That's what everybody's talking about down here, man.
Oh, yeah.
Hockey fans, that is. So do those anything of what I've just said in the last 3 minutes shock you or interest you in any way?
The Kraken got a win. The Kraken are on the board.
Well, they
lost.
Well, they got spanked at Edmonton. Yeah, they lost 6-0, but they won the night before.
But they won the night before, 1-1. But they come into, I think, Calgary tonight? Is that right?
Yes.
And they're wondering, is Mark Giordano going to play? Sounds like he is going to play, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's fun. And it's fun following this now because I'm thinking the same things you are. Did you get to see Jumbo Joe? Did you get to, go down to practice or see those guys or see him in those preseason games? Not yet, but it's becoming fun to follow. And the more we talk about it on a daily basis, the more I want to follow it at night.
Oh, absolutely. And by the way, that's my 5th point is the NHL preseason tonight. So I got ahead of myself. But that's the thing with the Panthers, man. It's what I told Lawless the other day. The Panthers, they're like, come on down. We practice every day at 10 a.m. And I'm like, I'd love to, but I'm going to be on the air. But that's part of the reason why I'm staying so long down here, the way that we're being treated. I wasn't going to go to the Dolphins game on Sunday. They got the Colts here. But then I thought, they've been so good to me. Why wouldn't I go? So I am going to go to the Dolphins and the Colts on Sunday. And that's kind of becoming my thing. Moving on to point 3. Caleb Evans threw 3 touchdown passes in his CFL and pro debut Tuesday night to help the Ottawa Redblacks defeat the Edmonton Elks 34-24. Evans completed 15 and 22 passes for 191 yards and also rushed for 59. The 20-year-old hadn't played since 2019 when he was at college at Louisiana Monroe. His 7-yard touchdown pass to friend of the show, Kenny Stafford, gave the Redblacks a 34-14 lead 5 minutes into the fourth quarter. It snapped an 11-game home losing streak for the Redblacks. On the Edmonton side, Taylor Cornelius, the old corn dog, made just his 2nd CFL start. He threw for 334 in a losing effort. Did you see after the game, Jamie Elizondo, who I think is a great guy and a tremendous coach, the head coach of Edmonton, saying he's embarrassed. He was embarrassed for the play of his team. They've lost 3 in a row. But let's just spend a minute on Caleb Evans because he did look like the second coming of Dan Marino. Threw 3 touchdown passes, and maybe it saved Marcel Desjardins' job because the inside word I got was that Marcel Desjardins was going to be fired today, and he hasn't been. So does a win over Edmonton like last night save his job, and is Caleb Evans going to the Canadian Football Hall of Fame?
Okay. Hall of Fame, yeah, I know we joke, and I know you're not serious.
Yeah?
He had little less than 200 yards throwing the football, but he played well. Played well enough to win. He ran the ball with his legs, too. I think he had almost 60 yards rushing. But I want to talk about Kenny Stafford. And the way he left Edmonton to come back with Ottawa on a bad Ottawa football team, play against his former team, 2 catches, 44 yards, and a touchdown. That feels good. That's vindication for Kenny Stafford. So today I'm feeling pretty good for Kenny Stafford in Ottawa. And yes, this does save Marcel's job for another week.
Yeah, that's your bold prediction?
For a week.
Spicy.
Well, my predictions have been way out of order because I've been hearing for a couple of weeks that Marcel Desjardins was going to be let go in Ottawa. And in a way, as I said yesterday, I feel bad talking about that. But on the other side, we've all been fired. We've all lost jobs. And he's cut a million guys in his time. So it's just the way that it goes. So, like I said, I'll say it again. It was a good night of sports on television. And Ottawa looked good. And by the way, they didn't turn the ball over once. They only allowed 1 sack. The Redblacks gave Caleb Evans the chance to win his pro debut, and away we go. Point 4, National Football League, in the time we have left in this segment, which there's a lot of time, and it's the warm-up brought to you by Ecol Electric. Our annual fall promotion sale is on now with special pricing on hundreds of in-stock items. Ecol Electric, let's get to work. By the way, Moose, you're probably not going to want to hear this, but it is steamy down here. It was suggested to me that I wear this shirt today. I'm starting to think it was a bit of a bad idea. It's hot. I was talking to Greg Zahn yesterday, by the way. Zahn called me. It's funny because when you and I were talking this morning, you brought up Zahn's name. And He's like, how's South Florida? I said, it's amazing. You know what it's like. And he's like, I don't know. He says, everybody's greasy and shiny down there. Everybody's sweating all over the place. And I said, I don't know. I've lost 40 pounds on the pink drink, and I don't feel that gross and sloppy. I don't know.
How about that?
Zani, of course, won a World Series with the Florida Marlins in 1997. So we had a good chat, and his plans were all regarding Grey Cup, because I told you right afterwards what Zani was calling for. So
Yeah.
we can actually talk about that next segment. We can actually probably talk a little bit about that on the air. Point four, and I know this will carry over into the second block, but is the National Football League. I know you've been watching ESPN every morning, as have I, and it's pretty much been, especially today, they turned the page over to Sunday night, the prime time game. I'm going to have to stay up late to watch that game, 8:20 kickoff Eastern. Would you be surprised to know that they play the Golden Girls on a loop down here on cable television, on a loop?
I would not
and
be
they say
surprised.
It's God's waiting room. No, I get it. 8:20? What?
Yeah, I know.
Might be able to hang around for the first half, maybe. But anyways, it's Tampa Bay at New England, and I know that you got a lot of thoughts on this, and I know that we don't have a lot of time here in this segment, so we'll carry it over into the next one. But what do you think the BetRegal.net line is for the game Buccaneers at Patriots on Sunday night in prime time?
I haven't looked yet.
No, I know. I know you wouldn't have. You're busy.
The Bucs are favored, and I'd give them 6.5.
7.
Whoa. On the nose, 7? Wow.
7-point favorites, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So there's going to be a lot of, I don't know, you saw this morning, I assume, that the Buccaneers signed Richard Sherman, the free agent corner. I would be shocked if he played Sunday night. I mean, the news just broke this morning, breaking news. If I had the bell, I would ring it. But Richard Sherman signing at 33 years of age, dropped the news on his podcast. But regardless of all of that, you see that, I don't know if it was Bucs fans or whatever, they're trolling Bill Belichick. They've put up billboards around the stadium trolling Bill Belichick with Tom Brady coming in there. This morning, did you see Mike Greenberg say this is the biggest regular season game in NFL history? Did you see that?
I did.
What do you buy that?
Yes. In terms of hype, in terms of meaning, in terms of fan interest. I mean, a battle for first place, what does that mean? A battle for a playoff spot, I mean, that matters. I mean, when you look at regular season, you get into week 17 and you start thinking, man, these games, you win and you're in. For me personally, I mean, there's been Tennessee games down the stretch late in the season where the playoffs are literally on the line. That's bigger for me than this game is for me personally. But in terms of the bad blood and storylines for a week 4 game, I can't imagine there's been a week 4 game that's ever matched what the anticipation that we have here ahead of Sunday night. I don't think there's one that matches. I can't think of one.
No, I know that you want to talk a little bit more about the Brady-Belichick relationship, as do I. So we'll talk about that coming back in the next segment. And we're only 4 topics through the quick 6 show topics here in the warm-up for E-Code Electric. So we're just getting rolling. Alan May Day. Coming up later on in hour 1, the Washington Capitals analyst and former Estevan Bruin. Dayton Greenway writing on YouTube. Greetings, RP crew from Speedy Creek. What a great game last night in the CFL. Do you guys think Edmonton can salvage the season, or is it over and done with for the Elks? We'll talk about that when we come back. From Pinckney, one of our P1s. And so many people ask me, what's a P1? It's Priority 1 viewer. People that are locked in every day for 2 hours, the whole show daily. Todd Pinckney is one of our P1s. He says on Good Morning Football, they confirmed he will sign this morning and be at practice this afternoon, then will play this weekend in New England. Didn't surprise me, and thanks, Pinks, for that. It's not a quarterback we're talking about here. And by the way, Tampa Bay has the 32nd best pass defense in the National Football League. Do you know how many teams there are in the NFL?
It's going to be a bloodbath.
They have 32. They have 32 teams in the NFL. Tampa's got the 32nd best pass defense. So Richard Sherman will play. Thanks, Panks, for that. So we'll get to all your questions and more when we come back. This has been the warm-up live from Dodge City. It's the RP Show, Canada's daytime sports talk show. Continues after this on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feeling the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Peterson Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Peterson Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Peterson Show.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Peterson Show.
Welcome back, everybody. RP Show is live from Dodge City. Another beautiful day. Here in South Florida, we got the Moose at home. And we're going to delve into a viewer takeover a little early here today. We've got Alum coming up, the Washington Capitals analyst, former WHLer, and Estevan Bruin. But I don't mind. Everybody's awake, and they're a lot less pissy today. They're in a lot better mood, Moose. I'm not sure if you felt that, if you've sensed that today.
Yes.
I have. Other than somebody texted me from the 587, and I'm not sure. I think that is Alberta, and it was a link. And I'm like, please don't send me your links or your photos or anything like that on the Prairie Mobile text line, please, because I can't open them up even in Canada, let alone in the United States. Yeah, right. Just send me your messages. And we never did hear from that strip club that inquired about sponsorship again, have we?
No.
Did we hear from them?
No, we haven't. I don't know. Maybe they're busy. Maybe business is good. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Just checking.
The coffee is great. We got the Caliber coffee on here. I think everybody is in a good mood. They woke up on the right side of the bed. We're good today.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's in a much better mood today, except for maybe the Edmonton Elks, which is what a lot of people want to talk about. And I'm certainly not averse to talking about the National Hockey League either, although as our poll question says, or the results say, the vast majority of people are not interested in the NHL preseason. And I'm just like, what are you interested in then? I don't get it. And why are you following us on Twitter? Why are you watching this show? Maybe it's just for the entertainment. What is it, Moose? What are they saying there now? It's so bright in my face here.
It's around 50-50. It really is. It was 55 for yes or 53 for yes. Now it's 52% no. So it's flirting with 50-50 back and forth all morning.
I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's Canada, but whatever. So Jack Fulton watching in Vulcan, Alberta. He says, upset alert, all caps. Stamps beat riders. Been listening to Bo and Double D, and things are going to happen. Finally getting their minds right. Oh, Dave Dickinson he's talking about. And
I
thought
he was talking about me.
Yeah, so did I for a second. So did I. I honestly did. But was it you that said here yesterday that Bo needs to get back to being a bit of a jerk? That he's not himself and he's kind of lost his edge a little bit? Was that not you that said that? And I totally get it. Sometimes you lose yourself or make what made you get away from that for various societal and outside pressures. And maybe Bo Levi Mitchell needs to get back to being him. And so there's that. I want you to expound upon that in a second because you kind of skimmed over it the other day, but I was listening. And then with the Edmonton Elks, they're just not playing well. Like, are they a bad football team? One thing that I've noticed here is that you aren't getting a pass from fans in any sport. You're not getting a pass from fans. You're not getting a pass from owners. A loss is a loss is a loss. It doesn't matter if it's injuries or your whole team has COVID or what have you. But if you sit back and look at this Edmonton Elks thing from a national perspective, they've kind of been a dumpster fire this year. They're the only team that's had massive COVID outbreaks, had to have games rescheduled. Now they can't get their act together. They've lost 3 in a row. So do one, both, or neither of Edmonton and Calgary get their act together here before all is said and done? I'm kind of leaning towards neither. Change my mind.
Yeah, I'm leaning there either. I'm just looking at the stats. That's what I'm pulling up from the game. And, I mean, we know Greg Ellingson played well. He had 7 receptions, 126 yards, and a touchdown. But Darrell Walker, just 4 targets in the game. They've only targeted Darrell Walker 4 times. 3 receptions, 31 yards. I mean, James Wilder still had 89 on the ground, but that's a big problem.
Yeah.
Rod, when you look at our podcast analytics, for people who listen on the podcast, our number 2 city for podcast listeners is Edmonton. Number 2, Edmonton. Surprised me.
Yeah.
But they're paying attention, and they're listening to this right now as we talk. And they're listening on the podcast wherever they may be, and their team is in a little bit of trouble, and they're looking for some reassurance on why they can be good, how they can make the playoffs. I mean, I don't know how long they're going to be without Trevor Harris. Is it going to be for the rest of the season? I don't know. I'm not hearing a lot. Haven't seen a lot in terms of the diagnosis. But here's the glimmer of hope for Edmonton. They've got some talent. Ellingson, Darrell Walker, James Wilder Jr., Trevor Harris. They got the horses. They got the players. Can they get it all together and get back on the same page, overcome this adversity, and make a run? It's not too late, but, man, the window's closing. And the same for Calgary, too. The window is closing, and, I mean, I don't know if I'm ready to bet that both those teams don't make the playoffs, but it's getting pretty close to that time.
Well, it's a muddled up year with the 14 games and so forth, and the urgency is here. There's no waiting to figure things out. I should not have split the season up into thirds, 5, 5, and 4. It's 7-7, and the stretch drive is on right now. Speaking of the Jelly Man, by the way, Greg Ellingson, he liked my tweet.
Good.
The one about pink drink. But if anybody's talking to Greg Ellingson, you tell him to update his Twitter profile because it says Edmonton Eskimos number 82.
Okay.
It's now the Elks. And you can also follow him on Twitch at Jellyman82. Just putting that out there. And also James Wilder Jr., who's a Florida guy, born and raised in Tampa. And I think his dad's still the Buccaneers' all-time leading rusher. All time. James Wilder's like, hope you're enjoying my state. The weather's starting to turn up here. And I'm like, I got it locked down for you, JWJ. Gotcha. So anyways, back to what you're saying. What you're saying is true. They're good teams that just can't seem to put it all together. And they're running out of time.
Yeah.
Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Jenna Reagan's watching in Southern California. Where's her comment? Victory week, Rod. Cowboys, Red Blacks, Sabres. This Jenna has just jumped into, she's a new NHL fan, brand new CFL fan, and somewhat historic Dallas Cowboys fan. She's a glutton for punishment. Remember when I said, like, last year, Jenna, you still got time to pick a new NHL team. We're not going to hold you to the Buffalo Sabres thing, okay? But they played Columbus last night and win in a shootout. And they're going to the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
James Zylstra, watching on YouTube, says, Rod, I'm happy it's 29 degrees today, more golf and sunny in the Peg. Bob's your uncle. Good for you, James. Todd Pinckney says, Rod, is there not a Hooters in Florida to host the show? Is there not a Hooters? Is there not a Hooters? It was born in Florida, in Clearwater, Florida. The original Hooters is there. But look around. I'm in Dodge City. Where else would you rather be than here? It's comfortable, it's cozy, and they've rolled out the red carpet for us in South Florida. I'm not leaving. Any comments from the viewers? You have them too. Any catch in your eye, Moose?
Oh.
The super chat?
Yeah, I always check to make sure that they're appropriate before I bring them up. But I saw the super chat, and I always think that's important to get to.
We have, by the way, Alan May has logged in, Washington Capitals analyst. So I will break in a couple minutes, and we'll get to Alan May, Capitals analyst. Just when people drop dough, we got to read their comment. The general in Calgary's paid $7 for a super chat. He says, feeling generous today since my Yankees powerhouses powered their way to the win last night. Stanton was a beast, and here's to you, Rod, and crew. Cheers. From the general in Calgary. So you just dropped by and dropped $7 to troll us on the Yankees pounding the Blue Jays last night? That's kind of rude, don't you think, Darren? That's like coming into somebody's house and wiping your muddy shoes on the floor. I don't care if you paid me. Come on.
But he's in a good mood, and his pockets are a little loose. I mean, he's happy.
Could be worse.
You know what I liked about this? Okay, and this is a lesson in trash talk. The post-game trash. This isn't really trash talk. He didn't mention the Jays in there, right? So he didn't say Jays suck. He didn't say they're not going to make it was all about his team. I'm cool with celebrating. I'm not cool with taunting it in somebody else's face. Does that make sense?
I got you.
So he's in a good mood. He wasn't really saying nah to the Jays fans. He was just saying, hey, I'm in a good mood. My team won last night.
Mandy in Edmonton writes in. She says, if anyone noticed, Jamie Elizondo comfort Cornelius after throwing an interception last night. Do you think that's too easy on the rookie? No, not today's player. What do you want, a guy in his face screaming at him? He already knew that he made a mistake. Now, that's why Jamie Elizondo is going to be a great coach. I just think in a shortened season, no preseason games. I know that the Edmonton Elks fans are on the ledge, but they're not firing anybody there. It's the first year of the regime. They'll be fine. Although there are some questions and red flags with regards to I believe, of the culture of that football franchise. I really believe that.
I know you want to get
such a thing. Yeah.
Well, I know you want to get out of here soon, but you just kind of brought that up with Elizondo, and then I was thinking about Paul LaPolice, and I'm looking at these young coaches, and not young coaches, but coordinators turned coaches, and they didn't have the full offseason for all the same get-togethers. They haven't had the full year of everything, the preseason and all these different elements. And you look at who's having success, it's the veteran coaches, the guys who have been there.
Which Wally Buono predicted would happen.
Connecting dots here.
Way back in the springtime.
Yeah.
On this show, he said the teams with the veteran coaching staffs will have the most success. So good for you, Moose, for pointing that out.
Cut those guys some slack, and I think they get a pass because this is them building that culture to then implement, and move forward, next year or, down the stretch run. We'll start to maybe see some of that impact. But
we're going to talk some National Hockey League next with Alan May of the Washington Capitals. You're watching the RP Show. It's episode number 581 of Canada's daytime sports talk show on the Game Plus television network. We're live from Dodge City in South Florida. Live streaming on YouTube and Facebook and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pie.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. T-shirts just like we wear on the show. Official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. RP Show continues live from South Florida, where the Florida Panthers visit the Dallas Stars tonight in the first of a home-and-home NHL preseason set. As a matter of fact, there are 3, 6, 8 NHL preseason games tonight, including the New Jersey Devils at the Washington Capitals. Alan May will be analyzing the game on Capitals television tonight, and he joins us from his home today to talk some NHL. G'day, sir. How you doing, Alan?
Doing great. Good to be back with you. I'm excited for another hockey season to get rolling here.
Aren't we all? You speak for a lot of fellas and gals, hockey fans, Alan. And look, I'm going to jump right into the deep end here before we analyze anything else. I'm looking at Ovi's goal total, 730. Wayne, of course, 894. And we can't talk Washington Capitals without talking the goal chase and Alex Ovechkin. I don't think I've had you on since last season. Did Ovi have a little bit of an off year? You know, how's this pursuit going?
Well, I thought he was going well, and then all of a sudden he was hobbled by, I think it was a groin injury, and he just wasn't quite the same. And he started having to miss games, something he's never really done throughout his career. He's been one of the toughest all-time players when it comes to that style of hockey, how ferocious he's played the game. And, you know, last year I just thought the way the power play was going, it wasn't quite right. And, you know, players started getting injured all at the same time. And I think it really slowed his pursuit down. You know, he still ended up with, I think, 24 goals in a 56-game season. He didn't play that many. But at the same time, last year, you could say it was a little bit off for the entire team because they had the COVID suspensions. They had, you know, the things that they dealt with there. They had some of the injuries. They had so many different players miss in the last 2 weeks of the season. But I would think going into this season, he looks like he's in incredible shape. It's kind of weird right now. He looks like he enjoys practicing in the training camp process. He's front and center in front of the coach in every drill when the coach is on the whiteboard. And I've never seen that before. And he seems like he's totally engaged in taking this thing totally serious. And I think as long as he stays healthy, he will break that record within the duration of this 5-year contract that he's about to start.
Wow. Bold prediction by Alan May. And by the way, there was a lot of big-name free agents on the board, Alan, this offseason. Ryan Getzlaf at the top, and Ovi was another. But I just thought, and in both cases, they ended up staying with their team. Did you ever think there was a chance that Ovi would look around?
Never, ever. You know, he's so ingrained in the community, too. You know, he's got, you know, the off-ice friends with his family. You know, that's a lot to take into consideration. He's done a great job of raising his 2 sons there. He's got an excellent wife. His home situation is about as good as it gets. And I just think, you know, with that, it was a matter of time. And probably the Capitals wish that they could have brought in Nick Backstrom, you know, during a COVID contract because he was signed to his new contract before COVID, and they could have had him take a lot less, which meant I thought Ovechkin would have been perfect to sign an $8.88 million across the board for you know, the next 5 or 6 seasons. But he took less than he originally wanted. But he also knew by taking the 9.5 that it also gave him, the team, a chance to put better players around him and not have a weak roster. Because when you do have a weak roster, you look at the Edmonton Oilers, how easy it was to just focus on McDavid and Draisaitl in crunch times. And, you know, that's a tall task, but it's a lot easier when the entire team can just focus on a couple of players. So they still have a strong-looking team. They didn't have to shed a lot of players to make his salary work. And I honestly think, I never thought this was possible before. I didn't expect him to be somewhat of a goal-scoring freak after the age of 30 and having, you know, 50-plus goal seasons. And he's continued to put it in there. I think that he is fired up after last season's totals and not feeling great. And I think the older players in the National Hockey League were very affected by the condensed schedule and the odd timing of the last 2 seasons.
From our technical producer, Ryan Baracco writes in, he says, love it every time Alan May comes on. And I agree with you, Rocco. You speak for a lot of people. You know, I'm looking at this Metropolitan Division, Alan, and it's hard to figure, other than Columbus and maybe New Jersey, who doesn't fit into the playoff picture. But really only 4 teams are. That's one of the toughest divisions in the National Hockey League. Every year it is.
Well, they say that every year, and you know you've got to think there's no Buffalo in this this year. You know, that was 8 guaranteed wins, it seemed like, for everyone last year. And the Devils will kind of end that as well. But I look right now, I think a lot of people have the New York Rangers a little too inflated and where they're going to be in the standings. I don't think, when I look at the rosters, I'm going, how many guys should be in the lineup on a certain night? Not to say that every player in the lineup's not an NHL player, but some players, you can't have them all in the lineup at the same time. And I'll use the Edmonton Oilers again. I thought for too many years, they had too many guys. It should have been the 12th forward, but they were going from 7 down to 12 in the lineup. But they had all those guys that were 11, 12 types of forwards, and too many guys that were 5th and 6th defensemen in the lineup. I look at the New York Rangers. There's not a lot of proven players there yet. You know, they signed some players and they make it sound like they've got the greatest goal scorers and team players ever. But I think right now they're somewhat overinflated. I really like the Philadelphia Flyers. Their defensemen. It's a strength again. You got Rasmus Ristolainen, who got the hell out of Buffalo, and lucky for him, because that's where your career goes to die. And then Ryan Ellis. You look at those two guys. Those are 2 top 4 defensemen that they've added to their mix. You add Keith Yandel. A little bit of tough news to start the season. Kevin Hayes out with a hernia surgery. But they're a really good-looking team in my book, and I think it'll get back to Vigneault and Terry and doing a really good job of getting these guys going. And, you know, they've got strength in net. So I think the Philadelphia Flyers may be the cream of the crop there with the Carolina Hurricanes. But although at the same time I look at Carolina, I'm not sure I like their defense as much as I've liked them in the past. And every one of those players could get back there, move the puck. And now they've got some reclamation projects back there. But the New York Islanders, we know they'll be in it because their structure is unlike no team in the National Hockey League. They have more defensive structure. Can they score enough goals? And I think it's going to be Washington and Pittsburgh battling it out, because Washington's starting the season probably without Nick Backstrom, who I'd assume goes on long-term IR until his hip is 100%. Then in Pittsburgh, you have Malkin and Crosby. And I look at their roster. I don't see enough depth with the other players right now to carry them through the start of the season. So, you know, Washington wants to get off to a good start, and hopefully Pittsburgh is getting pummeled the first 10 games or so of the season.
Oh, boy, Alan, I see why what a great job. Why you love it so much, right? This is so much fun. And so I was on a Rangers podcast the other day, the Broadway Hat podcast on Monday with the host Kyle Holland. It's a Rangers podcast. He's saying all the things you're just saying. Their prospects are the best. Their tough guys are the toughest. But he said that Ryan Reeves was signed to combat Tom Wilson. So 2-part question. Is Tom Wilson misunderstood? I don't know how he could be. He just seems like a meathead, Alan. I mean, you know him obviously better than most, but I mean, the Caps seem to like him. NHL doesn't come down as hard on him as I think they should. But was the signing of Ryan Reeves for that specific reason, do you think, after what Wilson did to Panarin in that game last year at MSG?
Well, it should be illegal. I thought it was illegal to have a player on another team own another franchise. And apparently Tom Wilson owns the New York Rangers. He got everyone fired last year, got the coach, the general manager, the president all fired. Now they bring in Ryan Reeves. And, you know, they're acting like Ryan's the second coming of Bob Probert and Dave Brown. In my opinion, Evander Kane nailed it right. Like, if you're going to let Ryan Reeves be a factor in a hockey game, I think the other team's going to get the victory all the time. And he's well-liked in Canada. He's Scott Oak's favorite guy to interview. And it seems like on the Hockey Night in Canada broadcast, he's the focal point. He's the superstar of the broadcast. I think he's a good player. I think he's legitimately tough. But I think there's been too much put into this. Will he ever score 20 goals like Tom Wilson has multiple times? Tom Wilson can skate just as fast as any player in the National Hockey League. He can put the puck in net. He's a wrecking crew with the body shot, with the big hits. And I think a lot of players in the National Hockey League, not just Tom Wilson, but in general, they need to do a better job of protecting themselves in high danger areas and on the boards. And, you know, this goes not just for Tom Wilson, this goes for everyone. Players are still, you know, too trusting. And I don't know if it's from the way we play youth hockey nowadays with no contact, and players have their heads down on the boards and not bracing for big hits. But Tom Wilson, people hate him. But I'll tell you what, every single team in the National Hockey League, you name it, the Toronto Maple Leafs would love to have this guy. He'd answer a lot of their problems, a lot of the top teams. He's a Stanley Cup champ. He was phenomenal in those playoffs. He can kill penalties. He can play different roles on the power play. And how many players that have played his aggressive style have been able to put up 20-plus goals in a season in the National Hockey League? Not very many. He goes out there. He brings it every game. Does he have to tone it down? I think he needs to keep his stick on the ice, on his body contact. And he's not going to get the suspensions. A couple of times, you know, they always use that. You know, if your stick's on the ice and you finish your hit, you're going to be upper body's going to be a lot better position. But he does skate fast. And when they took all the hooking and holding out of the National Hockey League, they also increased the level of concussions, because you used to grab your player with the stick. It was kind of, you'd obstruct, you'd hold, you'd hook, you'd ride the player into the boards. We don't see that anymore because it's pretty much illegal. But that's how the game used to be played when I played, and we didn't have a lot of head injuries, and our sticks were down. And now you're kind of T-boning players on body contact, like you're setting up those open ice hits. And, you know, Tom, I don't think he's had many controversial hits on the wall. It's been those straight on collisions. And he's just going to have to, you know, steer clear of them. Once again, you keep your stick on the ice, his shoulders aren't going to be up in the facial area. And I know people, especially with the Twitter world now, the way social media works, people overreact. They say things they would never say in person to somebody unless they got about 20 drinks in them. And I would take Tom Wilson if I'm any general manager in the league. The Tampa Bay Lightning included would love to have Tom Wilson. And he's a great player. He does a lot of great things on the ice within a game. But it's those times that, you know, they say crossing the line. I think we can say there's now, with social media, there's a borderline hit every single hockey game, because everyone's got an opinion, and there's 17 cameras in the arena now. And, you know, if you've got to explain your way out of every hit, you should probably going to get suspended.
I tell you what, man, we're out of time, but here's my personal invitation. Estevan Bruins are hosting the Centennial Cup in May, Alan. I'd love to do a hot stove with you down there in the Energy City. And so if you can come home, I know that the Pedersens will be happy to see you, and I know how much fun we'd have doing that. But listen, we got to run. Have a great season, my man. Keep in touch, and thanks for the time today.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I'll tell you what, if the Caps aren't in the Stanley Cup playoffs at that time, I will definitely be back in Estevan, and we'll do it.
That'd be awesome. Thanks, Alan. Alum, Capitals analyst, joining us today from Frisco, Texas. We'll be right back. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube and Facebook, live streaming and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Alum looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersenshop.com.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It is viewer takeover segment. For the first time in 10 days that we've been here in Dodge City, I've lost the audio feed. Hey, now we got it. Now I got it. What'd you guys do? Okay, I got the audio feed now. We're good.
All right.
Oh, and the Moose is there. Okay, I texted you, Moose. I said, I'll handle it here, I think. I never did get to the sports update. What do you got?
Go do your thing. No, when you texted me, I went straight in the control room to try and make sure everything was good.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, we got you now. Anyways, I'll just read a sports update. Another crucial game for the Toronto Blue Jays today. Jose Barrios is set to get the start as Toronto hosts the Yankees in Game 2 of a 3-game set. Garrett Cole will take the mound for New York, who won Tuesday's opener 7-2. The Jays are chasing the Yankees, as you know, and the Red Sox for an American League wildcard spot. 1 out still entering the day. Boxing legend Manny Pacquiao is officially hanging up his gloves. The 12-time world champion and Philippines senator announced the news in a 14-minute-long video on his Facebook page, saying it is difficult to accept that his time as a boxer is over. The 42-year-old had 72 career fights with 62 wins, 8 losses, and 2 draws. Preseason tune-ups continue for 5 Canadian NHL teams tonight. The Maple Leafs head to the nation's capital. They face the Sens. The Oilers are in Winnipeg. Meanwhile, the Flames will face the league's newest addition, the Seattle Kraken, in Calgary. And as Moose mentioned earlier, Mark Giordano appears to be suiting up in that one for the Kraken. Have the Flames announced a captain yet? Can somebody let me know? I would assume we would know. It would be banner news if the Flames had announced who the next captain replacing Mark Giordano is. I haven't heard. A busy day in Major League Soccer with 13 games on the schedule. All 3 Canadian clubs are in action, starting with Toronto FC hosting Cincinnati. Later, the league-leading New England Revolution visit CF Montreal, and the Vancouver Whitecaps travel to Houston facing the Dynamo. The sports update for the Tap Brewhouse and drive-through liquor store. Well, you'll never need to ask to have the CFL game put on. Thank you. For Ballers Rec Room, Saskatchewan's newest entertainment destination, home of the 4-hour Rough Riders tailgate party. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. Great job in this segment, Moose. Really great job, man.
Bringing the heat, baby. Pulling my weight.
Yeah. Get ready for a really big second-hour kickoff, okay?
I will.
Coming up after this break for Core Grain. We'll be right back. It's the RP Show from Dodge City on Game.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pie.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Absolutely awesome to see you down in Florida, Roddy. Unfortunately, you are at the grind, working. LOL. Enjoy it, man. You deserve it.
How about that?
Listen, please don't feel sorry for me. Darren, do you feel sorry for me that I got to work?
I feel sorry for me.
Exactly. Kind of a life that I could settle into.
Oh, yeah.
Fun, sun, and surf. It's the Rod Pedersen Show.
Absolutely. That's a live look-in from just over here. There's 88 Fahrenheit here in South Florida today in Dodge City. With the humidity, it feels like 91. And we're going to have some fun here in the second half kickoff. Brought to you by our friends at Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm. I'm going to open up the Prairie Mobile text line. It is open from the 204. Jason writes in, Jay Wall here, listening live on the Suds Listen Live feed while walking the dog along the beach in this 30-degree Celsius weather. He's just north of Winnipeg, I believe, and I understand that you Canadians, Moose, have been hit with a heat wave. Am I right in that?
That's right. It's been good. Today it's going to cool down a little bit, and we're going to get into the rain this afternoon here in the rectangle. But no, we had a great week. It's been awesome.
Good. I like to hear that, and it's been a great week here too. Great couple of weeks. As I said earlier, I'm going to bring in the viewers now. Bringing them in. What the heck? Maybe we could run through the quick six show topics too. There's a lot of topics on the table here in the Golden Corral of Sports Talk, the RP show. Which, incidentally, Moose, I haven't been to the Golden Corral yet since I've been there. That is on the bucket list.
Okay. I'll expect to see that on the social.
Yeah. Good call. Can you hit the quick six show horn, Jordan? Thanks. Number 1, Yankees clubbed the Blue Jays last night 7-2. Not a great start to the series for Toronto. This is going to go right down to Sunday. But you know what? At least they're in it. Point 2, NHL preseason last night. I had a note that I didn't mention last hour, Darren. The Edmonton Oilers spanked the Seattle Kraken last night, 6-0. I believe Connor had 3 points for the Oil. 13,627 took it in. 13,627 took it in at Rogers Place. Just putting that out there. The third point, the Ottawa Red Blacks spanked the Edmonton Elks 34-24. 12,108 took that in. If it means anything at all, I don't know. I just wrote it down because I saw the clip from yesterday's show said that we'd be talking about it today. Ottawa snapped an 11-game home losing streak, and the Elks have now lost 3 in a row. I promised that we would talk more about Belichick, Brady. It's Tampa Bay at New England. Sunday night football. The Bucs are favored by 7 at betregal.net. And the Buccaneers announced the signing of Richard Sherman this morning, and apparently he will start on the corner for the Bucs on Sunday night. And then point 5 was NHL preseason tonight. There are, what did I say, 8 games tonight. And Joe Thornton's still not going to dress for the Florida Panthers yet. This is the Cats' 3rd preseason game, and no Jumbo Joe yet. And then point 6 was, what else is there? But I think we've covered it all. Can I just say this about Alan May? And I love me some Alan May. Avi. But man, was he trash talking the New York Rangers. Like, how come he can get away with it? Is that because he's so good looking and he's just a class guy that he can get away? Because I feel like if I said something about any rival that we had, I would be nailed to the cross. How come Alan May can get away with that?
When you're that good looking, people don't hear the words that are coming out of your mouth, right? You just talk. Isn't he pretty? Hey, like, no, I don't know. Maybe that's why. Maybe not. But you know what? I think people respect Alan May, so he gets a chance to. He's got some. He gets a few for free, I guess I would say. But yeah, he's digging into it a little bit. If he gets a few wasters, people give him the benefit of the doubt. But I like it. Wish we saw a little more of it.
I think it's great. But when you were talking about how Bo Levi Mitchell needs to get a little more of his edge back, a little more of his swagger back.
Yeah.
I feel that was like a little bit with me. It's like I was just so tired of getting nailed by everybody for any opinion. I just kind of backed off a little bit. And then I realized, you know what? I need to start swinging my elbows again. So watch out. My cousin Christine's watching in Medicine Hat, Alberta. She says, you guys are prettier. Well, thank you, Chris, but you have to say that. She's my first cousin. I appreciate it, but I think she might be biased. Darren Workman's watching in Salt Lake City, Utah. He says, take the Bucs to cover 7. It could be a 40-point blowout. I agree, but that's why they call it gambling. There are no sure things. I guess we overestimated how bad the Edmonton Elks are because they were favored by, what did I say, 6.5 last night in Ottawa? And they got their lights pumped out last night by the Ottawa Red Blacks. So is this a sure thing? Bucs by 7 Sunday night, do you think? I feel like it is, but
I feel like it is too. It never is, you know. But if there was a sure thing in sports, this would be it. I think. I really do. I just again I see limited paths to victory for New England. I mean, they had Mac Jones throw the ball 51 times on Sunday, so he's going to throw a lot because you have to get him ready to go against this Buccaneers secondary, which you had mentioned, 32nd in the league. They bring in Richard Sherman. I don't think that's going to fix things in 1 week right away. So Mac Jones has a chance to have some success. And if he's throwing the ball and they're doing well and they're staying on the field, then Tom Brady's not on the field. So that's a path to victory, but I don't see a lot of others.
No. The viewers, by the way, are telling me that there is no captain named yet by the Calgary Flames, so just putting that out there. Viewers also writing in right now that there are major shakeups happening at Sportsnet Radio across the land. There are Sportsnet radio stations in Toronto, Calgary, Vancouver, and there you go, Simon Fudge checking in from Vancouver. Major shakeup with Sportsnet radio stations happening right now. Well, we saw the bloodshed in late January with the TSN radio stations. Now it's happening with Sportsnet Radio. It is what it is, as they're fond of saying. We sit here, do our little thing in our little corner of the world on Game Plus television, and I feel sorry for those that I'm just assuming they're cutting people and people are losing their jobs. I'm just assuming.
I'm trying to follow this right now. Oh, I know. I'm trying to follow this right now and see what's happening. It's not looking good.
Live look in. Zach Nelson writing in from Calgary. You know Zach. He says Jim Rome is on Fan 960 right now. Well, hey, let's throw Sportsnet under the bus. You don't mind. I'm going to do it right now. What'd I say? I was going to throw some more elbows. You inquired at Sportsnet 960 Calgary about carrying this show, and I'll answer for you, Darren, what they said to you. They said, not in Calgary. Because Rod's not popular in Calgary. Well, I hope that's maybe changing. But I guess Jim Rome is more popular in Calgary than yours truly. Should I move on? Am I making you uncomfortable, Darren?
No, I'm into this stuff. You know I'm into this stuff. This is the business of the business that we're in, and I'm all over this. So this is happening as we speak. I'm getting updates as little as 5 minutes ago. We're hearing that, whether it's 650, Sportsnet 650, still going to be all sports, but it sounds like, again, without reading too much into this, they're going to be changing up the programming lineups and going to more national programming, more syndicated programming, less employees, less local shows, if that makes sense. So it sounds like going to be sports, but you're going to see more Jim Rome's, more similar content on all the channels rather than Vancouver, Calgary, Toronto specific programming.
Right. And why not go with Jim Rome? Because God knows Canadian sports fans would rather hear what Jim Rome's talking about than what we're talking about, which is the National Hockey League, the CFL, the Blue Jays. Right?
Right.
Patrick Johnston, whoever that is, to quote Roy Shivers. Patrick Johnston on Twitter says, so here's what I know for now at Sportsnet 650. That's Vancouver. Scott Rintoul's bio change tells it all. He's out. Sounds like Jeff Merrick and Nick Kyprios, national show, taking over that time slot. Darren Workman in Salt Lake City, Utah says, Jim Rome's not even popular with his own mom, Rod. LOL. Hey, whatever. Let's do our thing. I've already spent more time on this than I wanted to. How are we doing for time? Lots of time.
Oh, yeah.
This is the second hour brought to you by Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm. I kind of got hung up on that Blue Jays thing and then NHL preseason. Listen, you viewers, you people can wage a war if you want in the comment section about the Sportsnet laying people off across this country. I don't care. I don't care. We got a show to do here. And I read those NHL preseason scores last night. I think now would be a good time to put up our poll question. Tell the viewers what our poll question is today. And it quite simply is, do you care about the NHL preseason? And I can't believe this. On Twitter, 73% say no. They don't. They're not interested in the NHL preseason. And on Facebook, Moose, what is it?
70% now to no. 70% into the no. So they're not, they don't care about the preseason, but they still, what we've found out through our analytics, they still care about what their teams are going to look like. By the way, it's 11-11.
Hey! A portal of opportunity is opening for you. Be aware of your thoughts, Moose. It's finally your time.
Okay. I got distracted on that, but it's true. People still want to know what their teams are going to look like. They still want to debate, how good are we going to be? What are we going to do? I'm not looking at these results. Don't really care about the preseason, but I want to know, what's my power play going to look like? Who's going to be our goaltending duo? What's our top 6 defensemen look like? People are interested in that, but they just want guys like us to tell them. They don't want to have to watch the preseason and try and decide, because maybe they don't have the same eye for it as you and I do, or as, the coaches and scouts do. So I think maybe that's a little bit more accurate.
I'm okay with that.
Hey, of course. You and I like to watch it.
I'm more than okay with it.
Yeah.
Well, and ask the Florida Panthers how much they enjoy having a Canadian guy down here talking hockey and putting them in the spotlight. Like, I was a little disenchanted the other night at the Panthers game that the people all behind me were talking about the NFL games. And I'm just like, why are you here? If it's that big of a deal. And Alexi Hepanoemi was playing for the Florida Panthers. We all remember him.
Oh, yeah.
Giving the Regina Pats fits and every other team in the Eastern Division of the Western Hockey League. And this guy, like 3 rows behind me, is like, Alexa Hepidemi? And I'm like, what? I'm not joking, man. I'm not joking. I know. It's so funny that it's so pathetic that it's funny.
I know.
James Zylstra, watching in Winnipeg, says, Rod, you guys do an amazing job coast to coast as well as in the States. It's like more than half of our viewers are American. I still don't get it. But you know what they tell me, by the way, is they love the hockey talk. And why don't we go back to the old school days? And I'll get to your question, Jordan, about Connor McDavid's even strength goals. Hang on. The analytics on our NHL interviews. If people want to know why we do the things that we do, because remember at the start we would put our top 10 cities for viewership and the stats and the analytics and everything.
That's right.
Tell them what the stats say about our NHL interviews. And talk, not just interviews, but just the segments that you and I do.
Over 9,000% increase in viewership on YouTube over every other segment we put out. 9,000% higher than every other topic we bring up on the show. So
9,000%, y'all.
Analytics drive what we do. And they're telling us that our viewers want more hockey. So here we are.
And more NHL hockey specifically. And here we are. Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
Bob's your uncle.
Haven't heard from Rick Riggin in a while, by the way. How's he doing?
I know, right?
Oh, good one, Rod.
I think he's doing pretty
That's
good.
our big voice guy. He's our big voice guy. He hangs his hat in Wichita, Kansas. Yeah, Jordan Schmervald says, wow, amazing, guys. I know, right? That's the thing about analytics. You don't, whether you're a coach or you're running a sports talk show or whatever your analytics are, you use them as a tool. I don't think you allow them to run your organization, but you use them as a tool. And this is very resoundingly telling us that people want the NHL talk. And what I'm getting all over America is you guys are the only ones in the daytime talking NHL during the day in this country, which, if I may say so, Darren, if I may be so bold, is exactly what you wanted to have happen. Now, from Randolph in Ontario, says Moose is like Billy Bean. How do you feel about that?
I like it. I'm not. Yeah, I mean, it's a tool. So he has the guy doing the analytics and he pulls the strings, right? I mean, I'm not in there crunching numbers. That's never been my thing. But I pull the strings based on the information that I have. And I'm hopefully, as we grow, can have more places to grab more information from to make better decisions. I'm cool with it.
If we keep patting ourselves on the back, we're going to dislocate our shoulders. So let's take a break. And when we come back, Jim in Scottsdale, Arizona, wants to talk about Richard Sherman and Evander Kane and make a comparison there, okay?
I like it.
And more of all of this. I think it's just going to be Moose and I and you, the viewer, the rest of the way, which is a heck of a lot of fun. It's hour 2 of the RP show. Brought to you by Core Grain. We'll be right back on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Alum looking deep. A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
And the Moose. And live here in Dodge City. And like an idiot, we go to the commercial break, and I just started checking my messages, Darren, and I didn't get my sports update ready to go.
All right.
So bear with me, okay?
Okay.
I was checking my social media, checking my messages. You know how it is.
Oh, yeah.
You're on your phone more than me, I think.
The viewers can see me on my phone throughout the show.
Right? I know. They just assume that you're doing work or something, or at least that's what I tell them.
Good call.
Watch your feet, because I could drop some names here, but a former Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneer wants to know how long I'm around for, because he's coming to Boca Raton this weekend.
How about
Wants
that?
to get together. Darren, everything you said would happen is happening.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
No, thank you. So I'll let you know how that goes down. You getting any more news on that Sportsnet stuff? I loathe to ask because I said
it just sounds like a big shuffle. Sounds like they're working to consolidate programming. It doesn't sound like they're shutting down stations, which is good, but streamlining the product, right? It does sound like Nick Kyprios is back in from what I'm reading. It does sound
good for Kipper.
Yeah, it does. That is good. Very entertaining. Reaching an audience. But again, as this happens and big networks can't go backwards in terms of revenue, this opens up opportunity for people like Andrew Pedersen, right? Our many friends in BC, right? Whether it's Don Taylor, Rick Dollywall, any of those guys, Matt Sakaris and Blake Price, to create local content. This is their moment to shine. This is their moment to shine.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Guys can't get out of their own way.
Yeah, tremendous opportunity for them. But for the corporations,
right.
I get that too. Consolidating, because they have to understand the mediums are changing, and they got to be they have to put out a smart product that still services a need. But while they're not hitting as much on the local stuff, that again is the opportunity for those other products to step up and fill the void in the local market. Now, can they put it together and make sense of it business-wise? They're smart guys. You and I have had conversations with them. They can do that, and it's going to result in a really good product, I think, for the viewers and the listeners, but you just got to do a little bit of work to find it.
Hey, Sportsnet Calgary, we're sitting here. Yoo-hoo. Pick us up or don't. Your call. Poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. I'm blown away. Are you interested in the NHL preseason? Look, I knew that not everybody was interested. I didn't think that 71% on Twitter wasn't interested in the NHL preseason, or 66% on Facebook not interested in the NHL preseason. I don't get it. So you tell us by virtue of the comments, what do you want us to talk about? The CFL? What do you want us to talk about? Ha! Mandy in Edmonton, you probably saw her comment. She says, Darren, when you go to Florida, you can play tennis with Ron Duguay. Just don't be late for the show like Duguay last time.
Trust me, I'm looking forward to that.
Did you say, by the way, did you say that you wanted me to move my camera up, or are you good with the way that it is?
Good. I'm good today. Oh, yeah, it's great today. It looks really good.
You said, Clark, it's good? Clark, you said it's good? Okay. I wondered why, frankly, Ron Duguay would go to St. Augustine, Florida, which is just south of Jacksonville, to live. But who knows? I feel like there's a chance that I'll be driving up there to see Dukes.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I would just assume if you wanted to be a hockey analyst, you'd want to be in a hockey market. But what the hell do I know? And who am I to question Ron Duguay? CFL Hobo, this is Jason in Hamilton, writes in. He says, amazing game last night, CFL in Ottawa. I love all NHL no matter what. Got tickets for November 12th, Ottawa versus my Flames. Jeremy Spencer says, I generally come for the CFL. I live in Western Kentucky. Not too much hockey around here. Good point. But with the internet, as you've said often, Darren, it's made the world a lot smaller.
Oh, yeah.
And Jack in Alberta watching says, the RP show is a prime example of why Darren was honored with the Young Entrepreneur of the Year award. There will be many more awards down the road. I don't doubt that one bit. So back to where I left everybody hanging off here on the text from Jim in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
From the 480, writing us on the Prairie Mobile text line. Would it be fair to mention Richard Sherman's criminal charges as compared to only allegations to Evander Kane, who's not charged with any crime? Good for the goose. Very slippery slope there. I was thinking about that this morning with what Jim's saying there is Richard Sherman signed with the Buccaneers this morning. And we, I think, all know the charges that he's facing with relation to domestic violence. And somebody tweeted the other day that said that we should take the video down of what I said about Evander Kane, that we'd be potentially would be contacted by his lawyers. I'm pretty confident in what I said. And as a full-time recovery coach, I do know the ins and outs of the law. And as a guy that's been given second, third, fourth, fifth chances in life, everybody knows where I stand on that. With Richard Sherman, I know guys that, I don't know Richard Sherman, but I know guys that have played with Richard Sherman, and they say that he's a good guy. In life, sometimes there's good people that do bad things. There's a lot of bad people that do good things, right? Richard Sherman, I tend to believe, is a good person that did a bad thing. If I recall the story, alcohol was involved there. And the word amongst the NFL people that I know is that Richard Sherman is a good person. Evander Kane has a track record. He's been on several teams. His current team, which he led in scoring last year, doesn't apparently want him back. I see what Jim in Scottsdale, Arizona is saying. You know, Richard Sherman was charged with something. He's still facing charges. I don't believe he's been to court yet. But in America, they still have it right. I think in Canada they don't. In America, it's still you are innocent till proven guilty. In Canada, it's you're guilty till proven innocent. Somewhat opposite. And I know I'm going a little far down the garden path here, but these are two guys that are in the news right now, Darren, and I'm sure you have thoughts on this. The San Jose Sharks would have Evander Kane playing for them right now if they wanted him playing for them right now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure the NHL, when they conducted this widespread investigation into the allegations that he was betting on the Sharks and the NHL himself, we couldn't find anything, but now he's facing a COVID protocol breach. That, to me, is not a coincidence. So I'm not going to say what the rumor is that follows Evander Kane. Let's just say nobody wants Evander Kane right now, okay? Are people smart enough to put two and two together? Whereas Richard Sherman signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this morning, the defending Super Bowl champions. They seem to be okay with him. And by the way, Sherman himself said on his podcast that he talked to both the Seahawks and the 49ers about potentially signing. These are two teams where he's already been. That's my very long-winded answer for Jim and Scottsdale's question. How do you feel about that?
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a team that returned, you said, all 22 starters from a Super Bowl championship team. They're number 2 in the power rankings, my power rankings, and I think that's a pretty consensus across the National Football League, that at least they're a top 5 team and they're a threat and a favorite to get back to the Super Bowl this year. They don't want distractions. They don't want something that could upset what they have built. They need to improve their defense, though, that you've said is ranked 32nd in the NFL, which it is, the pass defense. So they do need to fix that, but not at the risk of bringing a cancer into the locker room. This is all about who you are as a person today will determine if you're on the team. The past is the past, and you can't ignore it. You know, but who were you when you made the mistakes, and who are you today? Have you grown as a person? Have you understood what you did was wrong? Are you a good person? Are you somebody that can be a constructive member of society and a positive member to the organization in which you're being, introduced to? If the answers are yes, then that's why Richard Sherman's got a job. And that's why Evander Kane is kind of on the outside looking in. You know, it all comes down to who are you? What have you done in the past? How have you grown from the mistakes you've made? Because we've all made mistakes, whether people know about them or not, even if they're mistakes that only we know about ourselves. How have we reacted to them? What kind of a person are we? And what kind of, positive impact or negative impact are you going to have in this environment? And I think, if Richard Sherman's going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're pretty confident in the type of guy that he is.
Boom. And Antonio Brown has been a model citizen with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, by the way. I'm not saying he's a good guy. I don't think that he is.
Right.
Tom Brady's vouching for him.
But a lot of that, with Antonio Brown, too, and different people, sometimes it's about the situation you're in, right? And the environment you're in. You talked a lot about Aaron Hernandez, in that documentary, and how he asked to get out of there because it's a bad crowd that he'd been dealing with in Boston and in the New England area. So he was begging for, a ticket out of town so maybe he could get a fresh start. Sometimes it's about the environment you're in. And for Antonio Brown, he seems to be in an environment that's going to be a positive impact on him and the people around him. So that plays into it too.
Yeah. I know that you want to talk about Belichick, Brady, but we really have opened a Pandora's box here on this topic where sports intersects with life. And, let me read these, and then I'll just go back to Jim in Arizona, his thought. But Jeremy Spencer says Richard Sherman did have a much better track record, though, before his issue. Ryan McCarthy in Saratoga, New York, says giving grace is one thing, but when you abuse those graces repeatedly, you earn a bad reputation. That's when you need to have a talk with the man in the mirror and come to grips with reality. James Zylstra in Winnipeg says Kane was out of Winnipeg with all his issues. They moved him. Winnipeg's not that far from where we hang our hat. Think I don't talk to people there? Think I didn't hear things about Evander Kane going back to junior days? Anyways, so to answer Jim's question again, Evander Kane has a history, and I think people have had enough. Richard Sherman hadn't been in any trouble until this one incident, which is just still at this point, well, he's been charged but not prosecuted, and that's another thing. So, in the time we have left in this break, and we'll come back with more fun and frivolity, but more on Belichick Brady, because it's Wednesday. We're working our way towards Sunday night in what they're calling the biggest regular season game in NFL history. You agree with that, Darren? I just notice a lot of times it's the biggest ever until next week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is pretty big.
It's huge. It's huge. And, both guys will try and downplay it, that it's not a big deal. It's another game. I mean, Tom's not really downplaying it. He's launching a return to Foxborough T-shirt line, clothing line about his return to Foxborough. So why wouldn't he, right? I mean, he knows it's a thing. The media knows it's a thing. They're both at least being open about it, that it's happening, acknowledging it. I think it's going to be one of the juiciest pre-games of all time. The pregame shows are going to be great. I'm going to watch the lead-up coverage. From the morning, they're going to talk about it. All afternoon, they're going to talk about it. And then Football Night in America will talk about it throughout the night. But then the game won't be, because the game is going to be not close. It's going to be a Brady beatdown. And we're going to look at it as not the most entertaining game on the field, but maybe the most entertaining pregame in a really long time.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not what you wanted to talk about. Let's talk about the fact that Belichick and Brady won 6 Super Bowls together, and at one time, they probably were very close. I'm sure when they drafted Tom Brady, was he in the 6th round?
Yeah.
That they opened the door for him and gave him a bunch of track suits and toques, and he was the golden boy for a real long time.
We got enough time to get into that?
Somewhere along the way, you know what? Let's do that next segment.
Good idea.
Okay? And because I know this could go on for a while. Larry Dye, watching in Medicine Hat, where we're very big in Medicine Hat, Alberta. Larry says, I don't mind hockey as long as you sprinkle in some CFL. Well, that's what we do. We sprinkle in some CFL. But there's a lot of other really interesting things going on today and this week, and we'll talk about that and more when we come back. You are watching the RP Show live from Dodge City in South Florida on another beautiful 88-degree Fahrenheit day on the Game Plus television network, live across all 10 provinces in 31 states, YouTube and Facebook streaming, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Big time.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. So much fun on Canada's daytime sports talk show, where ironically over half our viewers reside in the United States of America. Breaking news before I bring Moose back in. Couple of things. The National Lacrosse League, the largest and most successful professional lacrosse league in the world, today revealed its full 2021-22 game schedule, beginning with face-off weekend, December 3rd and 4th. Early highlights of the slate include the standalone first contest featuring the Vancouver Warriors at San Diego Seals, and a 2019 NLL Finals rematch between the Calgary Roughnecks and the Buffalo Bandits in Buffalo. The first game played in Fort Worth, Texas, as well, which is December 10th, and the return of the NLL to Hamilton, Ontario, and Albany, New York. So thank you to the NLL for making us aware of that. Here's one for you, Moose. Valley Sports Florida, the network home of the Florida Panthers, announced plans to produce and televise 74 regular season Panthers games as part of the 2021-22 NHL season. Valley Sports Florida will also televise the Florida Panthers versus Tampa Bay Lightning preseason game Tuesday, October 5th from the Amway Center in Orlando. Road trip.
How about that?
The neutral site matchup between intrastate rivals will provide fans with their first live look at the Panthers ahead of the regular season. And there you go. So, see what I'm saying? Everything's just going great.
Awesome.
By the way, the Blue Jays continue a critical series against the Yankees tonight at Rogers Center. New York won last night's series opener to move 2 games up on Boston, 2.5 up on Seattle, and 3 ahead of Toronto for the top American League wildcard spot. The Yankees send ace Garrett Cole to the mound tonight against Toronto's Jose Barrios. The Seattle Mariners are really a pain. They've won 10 of 12. and have charged into the thick of things in the American League wildcard race. The Mariners enter their series finale against Oakland tonight, trailing the Red Sox by a half game for the final postseason spot. Righty Logan Gilbert gets the start tonight for the A's. Is set to face A's righty Frankie Montas, with Seattle seeking a critical sweep. The Atlanta Braves can get within striking distance of clinching the NL East with a win tonight over the Phillies. Atlanta took the opener of their 3-game set last night to pull 3.5 ahead of the second-place Phillies. And the Giants will close out their pursuit of an NL West title without slugger Brandon Belt, who went on the injured list yesterday with a broken left thumb. The injury is a big blow for the division leaders who enter tonight's contest against the Diamondbacks with a 2-game lead over the Los Angeles Dodgers. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for all things Western Hockey League. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, 8 amazing flavors now, but my favorite remains almond coconut. Order yours at g2gbars.ca and get 20% off with the promo code RPShow. Moose wanted to get into this. Belichick, Brady, Sunday night. And it was once a great relationship that now seems to be getting worse by the day. What's your take on this situation?
I tweeted it this morning, and I'm glad you brought it up. But this is relationships, right? This is human nature. This is a lot of that and textbook stuff, right? When you've got one person who's growing and moving forward and doing new things and trying to, and somebody else who's not, who's comfortable, who wants to stay where they are. That's two people that are vibrating on different frequencies, and they're never going to understand each other. Because when you're Bill, you only understand Bill. You stay here, you do everything here, day after day after day. It's the same day in, day out, year in, year out, until you die. And you got Tom being like, but I want to go to Florida. I want to go to Tampa. I want to, win with a new team. I want to do all these new things. I want to have a little bit better relationship. I don't want to play in the cold anymore. I, want to build my TB12 brand, and I want to have a clothing company, and I want to incorporate this more into the football team that I play in, and I want to have my friends come and play, and I want to do all these different things. And he doesn't have the support in New England. That's what I see from the outside. When you don't have that support, you have to do what makes you happy. Tom's doing what Tom needs to do to be happy and continue to play. And he's probably going to play till he's 50 because he can, and he's kicking everybody's butt. And why wouldn't you if you are playing that well? They're saying he's throwing the ball better than he did when he was 24. But you're never going to be on the same page. And so when you're not on the same page, it's time for a split. And when you split, well, what's the hardest thing to do? Look in the mirror, right? And Bill, we gave him a contract offer. It's not our fault he left. Guess he didn't want us. It's his fault. Bill also said we also learned that Bill declined to meet with Tom Brady after it was decided. We just learned that. He thought he was done. He thought it was over. There was no point in meeting. So you've got Bill who's kind of like, look, if you're going to leave, then leave. And you got Tom being like, hey, look, I appreciate my time there, but I need to go to Tampa, and he's winning in Tampa, and now he's coming back, and maybe they didn't appreciate him enough, and he wants to come in and make a statement. It's wildly juicy.
Yeah, but history repeats itself. And there's more to this than what you're saying, and you know what it is. It's people. Somebody wrote in here earlier, and if Clark can find it, he can put it up. If the Buccaneers rout the Patriots Sunday night, it proves that Brady's responsible for those Super Bowls, not Bill Belichick. And the correct answer is that they did it together. But near the end, Tom Brady became too big for the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick. You're seeing all this stuff come out about how Belichick treated Tom like a child. And Tom got tired of it because Tom deserved better. And the rest of the NFL, particularly Aaron Rodgers, are looking at what Tom Brady's doing in Tampa Bay, and they're all going, I want that. I want what he's got. That's a fact. Yeah. And Tom's just relishing in his role in all of this. And underneath, I think he's seething, and he wants to go in and kick the Belichick's ass and the Patriots' ass. But do you not think Bill Belichick, he firmly believes that they made Tom Brady. That Tom was not responsible for those 6 Super Bowl wins. You know that's a fact.
But they kind of did. I mean, Tom was a 6th-round draft pick. He was nothing special coming out of Michigan.
They did it together.
But you're right. They did it together. And whether, it's chicken and egg stuff, right? It's really chicken and egg stuff. Did Belichick foster this work ethic and this dedication to the craft that Tom has really defined his career with, right? Was that probably nurtured a little bit by Bill? And they probably did this together, right? But Bill didn't grow into these other areas of the branding side and everything else that Tom's grown into. They've grown apart. They've grown differently. But you're right. They did it together. This was a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. But on the Aaron Rodgers, these other quarterbacks, not even quarterbacks, stars, when you have that kind of star power and you're responsible for the success in any industry, you want to start to have some of that added benefit that goes along with it. But you need self-awareness. Aaron Rodgers, he deserves it. He should have some say. He's there with Brady. Jimmy Garoppolo? Probably not, right? You have to be self-aware about, are you actually at that level to demand what Tom Brady's been able to get?
We're going to break, and when we come back, it's overtime. Let's get that Prairie Mobile text line humming. 306-840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. Got the YouTube and Facebook comments going too. Whatever you people want. Whatever. Apparently you don't want the NHL preseason. You want to talk NFL, CFL, whatever, let us know. It's all next in our final segment. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Green. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Green Systems a call today.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feeling the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Away we go for overtime, brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the UFC, and the Seattle Kraken fan club. The owner over there, the Greek freak George Anitos, he's a dyed-in-the-wool Leafs fan. The Leafs and the Kraken have identical preseason records at 1-1. And Moose, you ask and you shall receive. I told people to get this text line humming for Prairie Mobile, and they have. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. Deb in Toronto, she watches on Game Plus Television Network every day. Deb says, "Hi, guys. I think the interest in the NHL preseason is low, partly because the CFL and NFL have started, and the wind down in Major League Baseball before playoffs has more interest right now." Well, that's the wonderful thing about interactive television like we have, because it's still blowing people's minds that you can pick up the phone and text the guys on the screen. What? So should we be talking about the Blue Jays? Let's get them into the playoffs first. That's when the rest of the country cares about the Toronto Blue Jays. Sorry to tell Toronto.
But this does feel like playoffs right now for the Jays. I think that's why we're a little bit dialed in this final week of the, the stretch drive of the season here, is that it feels like the playoffs because every game matters now for Toronto. They need to play like it's playoff time.
Well, a very good indication is how often you're pulling out your phone and checking your score app or your TSN app or whatever app you use for your scores.
Yeah.
Right? And I've been pulling out it a lot to see what the Blue Jays are doing. Jennifer from the Four Seasons watching, she says, "Well, I'll be enjoying some preseason Oilers hockey tonight. It's on TSN 3. And by the way, Dawn in Winnipeg watching on Game Plus TV says, "Good day, guys. I've been very interested in the preseason NHL. As a Jets fan and first-time season ticket holder, there's lots to be excited and positive about. Keep knocking it out of the park, guys." Thank you. Donnie. DG in Saskatoon. "Morning, guys. Everyone thinks that Belichick is only thinking about Tom these next few years. Truthfully, Bill only cares about catching Don Shula's all-time wins record. He's 37 wins shy of securing the combined regular season and playoff win record at this point. He is also 48 wins shy of the regular season record. If he has that, he knows the Brady stuff won't really be discussed at all beyond this game." This DG in Saskatoon, I feel like I might actually know him, and I think you do, but I don't know who it is. Smart guy or gal. But
very smart.
Well, I think guys like Belichick really do think about their legacy more than guys like me. That's why I wear this bracelet one day at a time. I don't think a whole lot about legacy. I don't. But I think Belichick does. I don't know if DG's right, but do you think that's what Belichick... He's got 6 Super Bowls. What more do you need?
I know.
But I guess there's something nagging at him saying now especially that it's only because of Brady. Because they missed the playoffs last year, the Patriots, and Brady goes on to win a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and that's really...
do you think DG's right?
He's onto something for sure, because then that, just discredits Bill in the whole process, right? It was all Tom. And it was never all Tom. And Tom will admit that it was never all him at all, that it was a lot to do with Bill. But when he goes out and wins somewhere else, Bill's replaceable. Bruce Arians came in, did the exact same thing, right? So how much did Bill really matter? That's what the narrative is. And that claws at you and that gnaws at you if you're Bill. But, you know, he wants to prove that he can still win without Tom. And that all-time wins record, that would be something to hang your hat
on. Jeff, the Stamps fan, correctly points out 7 Super Bowls. And, Jeff, you know me well enough to know that I meant 6 as a head coach. But I get the 7 Super Bowl thing. It's like us talking about Chris Jones, and his 4 Grey Cups, but only 1 as a head coach. Trust me, I get it. It's interesting on this NHL preseason thing. And it's interesting with how this show has grown over the last 581 episodes because we're sitting here asking if you care about NHL preseason. 2 years ago, we'd have been asking if you cared about University Canadian football or junior hockey.
Right.
But the show's evolved to the point where we're still going to continue to talk about what we care about. And now I'm sitting here in South Florida, and I can't stop thinking about the Florida Panthers at the Dallas Stars tonight. You know what I mean? That's just where my mind shift has focused, has changed. So for those hockey fans that love the NHL talk, that's what you're going to get here. And we'll talk about the CFL too. And yeah, Ottawa beat Edmonton 34-24. But I'm sorry, that CFL pie, it's shrinking. It's shrinking. You have 45 seconds, Moose. Last word is yours. What do you got?
Yeah, no, it's just, it's a great time, and the discovery of this show and where it's going to go. I like that you brought that up a little bit because there's time for everything. You know, we want to make sure we continue to satisfy that appetite in the Canadian Football League, but we're sinking more and more into this NHL, and we love following the NFL, and you know, we want to make sure the interaction with the viewers is still what we do best. We love doing that, continue to do that. Biggest thing is, we're going to be happy and talk about what makes us happy every day.
And we'll always be entertaining. Moose, thanks for a wonderful day. I'll see you in 24 hours.
Great show.
Tomorrow, live from Bow Campers in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. See y'all tomorrow at noon Eastern. What do you think it is? A strip club?